somebody with a very good beginning and academic background, having taken his degree in petroleum engineering with a second class up. That shows that he is entrenched in the profession. Myself, I'm a unionist, and for some times, I counsel to Pengasson, and I've interacted with Engineer Obe, their functions and some of their conferences, and I thought that he's actually a gentleman. And don't forget that he has been in the state executive, in the government of our late governor, and it's the current administration under the leadership of our most respected governor, Honorable Orimisan Loki Ayedatua. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the person, the celebrant that we are here today to rejoice with, to acknowledge what he has been able to do and achieve within the last 50 years. Years is not a mean attainment. Just like we celebrate for an individual to go through life through studies and through professional activities. This far at a ripe age of 50, it is worthy of celebration. And I want to thank all of you who came, who are invited and honored this to be here to rejoice with him. Next, that the essence of our being seated at this session is to listen to a scholar, respected researcher, who is going to tell us about sustainability. And I believe that it is our privilege to have him. And I want to invite all of us to sit back and savor what Professor Olalekun Yunusa is going to deliver. I want to thank all of you. You are most welcome.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Joseph Olusholaiji. Thank you very much. Okay, so he's already done that bit already, since the whole essence of our gathering is to listen. But essentially, it's important to note that this scholar who will be speaking to us in the next 2 will be dealing with something I call a mouthful topic: rising global geopolitical tensions and local sociological headwinds, Africa's path to sustainable development. That's a lot. And just before
activities around the world, and how does it affect specific countries, which I will be talking to shortly. Again, in the global world before, they are also in charge of the payment system, which guides transactions between and among countries of the world. So the problem now in the current stage is the fact that that particular role has been weaponized, and I'm going to speak to that, in a moment. Has been weaponized because they can switch it off and they can switch it on, and that is what is happening in the current day. Then what are the historical warning signs that we need to look at? What has happened from history, from 1945 to the Bretton Woods system that led to the establishment of the World Bank, IMF, and WTO, World Trade Organization, actually collapsed. And if you ask me, I will tell you that today, perhaps we don't even need IMF again. And perhaps we don't need, WTO, World Trade Organization, because the authors of the articles of these organizations no longer believe in it. And they don't even obey the rules of those particular. Why should we follow the rule? Okay, I will come back to that shortly. Then again, what are the current African realities? Africa's realities in terms of, all those local sociological headwinds that are holding us down, which we must watch out for and be able to look at it critically to prioritize quite a number of things that, we need to be looking at, as it were. And finally, I will be coming with my own ideas. It could be debatable. When you have 100 people in a room, we, as social scientists, we know that you have 100 solutions from every individual. And you may not agree with me completely, but these are my thoughts. And I will be sharing some of the things that I feel we should be doing, going forward. Now, what are those basic concepts that I must explain so that people can actually follow what I'm talking about? Tariff. Tariff is a form of tax on imports. What it does is that it is used to protect local industries, but most especially it makes imported goods expensive for those people that are importing. I don't want to say more than that because of time, but that is what tariff is all about. Bretton Woods system. This was a system that was set up between 1944, when the agreement was signed, and 1944, when the agreement was signed, and 1971. In 1971, it was a system that gave U.S. the power. Estimated that U.S. extracts 2.5% of the size of U.S. GDP on an annual basis for printing the dollar every year from all over the world. So you can see that which they can use all over the world. So you can see that which they can use to fund anything. And I want to say also upfront that America fights majority